Revelations 12:15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth waters as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Now last week I spoke about what was coming out of the mouth and what was the flood that was coming now to attack the woman. Okay? Which was also the separation of the church, also part of that schism. The great schism that took effect and things that altered the church back then, but why we are still strong today is because she has her very own place. And so that he might cause her to be carried away with the flood. Floods were waters, peoples, nations, tongues, multitudes. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Now here we see the earth helped the woman. The earth is a foundation. The earth is something that we walk on. The earth is things that bring forth materials. The earth is things that bring forth stone elements. The earth is things that help us breathe and live. The earth is a very important place, and we should also learn how to recycle and take care of our earth as well. It's a very important environment.
Stewards, good stewards.
Yes.
Because it has an earthly language and also a heavenly contract.
Yes. We too are earths, and our very thoughts are heavens. Because no one can grasp the thought of your imagination. He says, above all ye ask or think. So whatever we think can alter something into its reality by the power that works in you.
Natural
And so although we have an earthen vessel, we still have an imagination that can reach to God. So the earth helped the woman, but here we're also talking about not only the figurative spiritualism of us, but also here we're talking about another phenomenon, because the earth is not just going to open up the ground and cover water and soak in the water of a spiritual woman. So we're actually talking about a figurative transformation here of the earth and the woman. So the waters were referring to people and bad situations, multitudes, tongues, people that were now going up against the church of Christ at this certain splitting when Satan was cast back onto the earth.
The spirit of unbelief.
Okay.
Yes.
And so now the earth helps the woman. So now there's opportunity for us as well. Opportunity from the things the earth brought forth that man also created. Not that we glory in men, but that we can utilize these benefits also to help us, like it once helped the church. The earth helped the woman. And so it gives us a dignity and a diligence to pursue something. Okay? It can help us in all these things because the earth is helping the church. The dragon is going after the church. The dragon is going after the church, sending people after the church, but the earth is now helping the women. So what can we use to utilize? What can we utilize from the earth to help the church grow? The earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Okay? So, first the church was given two wings. At a time of desperation, the church was given two wings of a great eagle. Here, the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened the mouth. So something is happening once again to help the church, The first time it was given to the church. The second time the church is given help. So something is more material in the first one, when she's given 2 wings to fly, and then the second one is a help that has been given to the church to continue. And the earth helped the woman, swallowing this flood from casting down our Christian beliefs. And though the world today may be crashing down slowly because of certain empires of the past that continually want to provoke the new Hamans of today's life, want to take away our liberties and distort our constitutions as being a free country, since they have the right to being made free as well. We as the Church of God must learn how now also to use what's been given and also prosper in a way so that once again the enemy cannot deflect us.
Professional natural man.
A professional way of a natural man to make policies
To make peace.
to help the church grow
To make peace.
and keep it safe from outside forces through legal matters as well, and cases. And so who will stand up for the church if they try to beat on it? Who will then help the church? Because our justice form here in this Bible has a judge and a king that is going to take vengeance on anyone that tries to
And the earth shall roll up like a scroll, and the heaven. And new
defeat
earth and
us.
heaven will be.
Okay,
That's
Made
arrogance.
open to our
That's
mind.
arrogance.
so this is going to be something about the work of the Lord, ain't it? The work of the Lord is something that's going to have to take effect in these last days. All right?
Haman hated Mordecai because he wouldn't bow down to him.
All right.
So
Exactly.
Mordecai stuck to
And
the
the church is not
principles.
going to bow down
No.
to the worldly elements of Satan.
We are not. We might be beheaded for that. It's possible.
Now,
But,
verse 17.
yeah.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandment of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So, as the course took effect and Satan was released, trying to destroy the church, we see the church is helped anyway. So there's nothing much that we need to fear but the courage to stand up for the faith in the later days, knowing that God will help us
For your
through.
own life and not
Stand
death.
on the word.
But now we
Yes.
see here that in verse 17 it says that the dragon was wroth with the woman after all the events took
What does
place.
it say back in?
Here we see that the dragon now is wroth with the woman, with the church, and went to make war. Went is an action that the devil is now laying siege on individuals. Went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Okay? So not only is he enraged because he can't seem to destroy the church, but now he's targeting individuals. The remnants, a part of something left behind.
Well, the remnant too is also Israel. And
Members.
although it is as the sand of the sea and the stars of the heavens, remember, a remnant is saved.
Yes, a remnant, a member of the Christian church.
remnant
A member
is that
of his
portion,
family.
The Bible itself, that much.
A remnant, yes. Family. Are we correct? Family.
The family of God.
Members of God, members of Christ. Yes.
The kingdom family.
All Israel.
Yes.
All of us who are children of Abraham.
Mhm.
Okay. He went and made war. That means he's going to try to take away our faith.
Antagonism. Amen.
But the beautiful verse.
physically or spiritually,
Yeah.
literally. He may confuse us. It's going to make war. Consequential sins that people now believe it's okay to do. They forget the word. They read the word and don't invest their time in the true knowledge of God. Consequential sins. People just act accordingly.
Yes. In words where there is no hypocrisy, no war, no confusion.
And so, what's the remnant? The remnant. A remnant, he says. War with the remnant of her seed. Her seed. That's the Christian church, is it not? All right. Isaiah 13, 3-5. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. He's talking about his family.
The word, yes.
Is a remnant.
That's
Even
whoever
them that rejoice in my highness.
The world.
is faithful to the covenants of the Lord.
Yes, he's talking about a remnant.
People, actual people on earth.
Even them that
Before
rejoice
that,
in my
it's the
highness.
words, and then the word can be planted in you.
Isaiah 13:4.
You understand the word.
The noise of a multitude in the mountains. There you go. Like as of a great people. There you go. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations.
The Bible's known as the
A
world.
Christian family.
The Bible's also known as all those things.
A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together.
It's all intelligence.
That means we will all be at a certain time. We will all be together studying. We will all be together involved in the very
Well,
timing of this life when things about to hit the fan.
That's it.
We will all be together and everyone will be looking at those things that are coming upon the earth. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. So now here in verse 3 we see God commanding sanctified ones.
yeah.
Commanding his sanctified ones and calling mighty ones for his anger.
That's right. It's called
Okay.
the whole assembly.
And in verse 4 we see a noise of mountains and people and a great tumultuous noise of everything gathered together in a certain big event. Looks like it's what's going on. And for the Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. So here the Lord is preparing someone to host the battle. It's the Lord of hosts who mustereth. So the mustering is what he's doing. Mustering it. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Lord is going to muster the host of the battle. Verse 5 says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven. Even the Lord.
Yeah, every good and perfect gift comes down from the Lord of lights or heaven.
They come.
Amen.
Now remember, we're seeing the word they. And I'm going to be leading you up to next week into the message of the two witnesses.
And it's Lord all capital.
They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even from, comma quote, the end of the Lord.
Resurrected. Amen.
They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord. So they come from the Lord, okay? And they even come from the ends of heaven. Whatever that means to you, it can mean many different ways. It could mean like the end of your rope, that's the end of your days. You know, it comes to a certain crucial point of your life, the end of it. These come from the ends of heaven.
The whole assembly being understood.
These come from a far country, meaning that you won't know where they came from. And even from the ends of heaven, even of the Lord. Even the Lord they come from. And the weapons of his indignation is to destroy the whole land. So, we're speaking about remnant, we're speaking about a people, we're speaking about someone that the dragon is going to go to war with, okay? This is the point, this is the focus point. He is making war with the remnant of her seed. And so in 1:13 it speaks about God has sanctified ones, God has mighty ones, and God is preparing a host for a battle. And there's going to be a lot of this noise and of a great people. Okay, at a time also in Jeremiah 30, it talks about the great noise of Jacob's trouble. The time of Jacob's trouble, okay? And the great noise as well. And so it also speaks about where they're coming from heaven, and they're even coming from the Lord, from the ends of heaven and from the Lord. So we have a remnant. We also have something sanctified. Can be a whole remnant people. Now let's continue. Okay?
Seated at the right hand of the Father.
The remnant.
Zephaniah 2:7.
Sanctified ones, called ones who rejoice in his name. All these things.